How would you briefly describe your project to someone unfamiliar with what you do?
We are developing culturally inclusive meal box delivery for older adults. We have gathered food preferences data by surveying the community for food preferences to figure out what folks actually want to eat. And we use that data to design menus and recipes. These menus are then approved by our dietitian as having met federal guidelines for daily nutrition. And then when the program is fully operational, participants will be receiving weekly deliveries of fresh, frozen, and shelf-stable food to prepare 21 meals a week.
What is the why behind your project?
There are so few programs that exist that are providing total nutrition to older adults. And even further, there's even less programs that are offering culturally inclusive meals with the option for medically tailored meals. And so we are aiming to fill these gaps and also advocate for a permanent nutrition category under the reauthorization of the Older Americans Act.
What has worked well for your project?
Our food preferences surveys have worked really well. It's important to us that we're delivering foods that folks actually want to eat, and gathering this data allows us to do just that. And then we've also been designing and implementing different program models that we implement during our pilot programs, and these really highlight the strengths of our partnering organizations. And then lastly, we have a National Advisory Council that provides valuable insight into the direction of our project.
What are some challenges your project faced?
Definitely the rising cost of food and inflation. We couldn't really have planned for that when we originally designed the grant or applied for the grant. And then also we're noticing that the community-based organizations are often challenged in meeting the partnership requirements, such as obtaining a DUNS number that's required for all grants and cooperative agreements. And then it's been a challenge navigating the differences between what's allowable under state and federal funding.
How do you find appropriate partners/partner organizations?
Our agency, AgeOptions, has a robust partner network that we were able to tap into, so that's been wonderful. But even so, we found it challenging often to find the appropriate community-based ethnic organization to partner with. And we've also approached organizations that are non-traditional of the aging network, such as grocery stores, and we found that in general, people are just really excited to be a part of providing culturally inclusive meals to their community members.
What funding sources have you utilized, or will you utilize?
So at this time, the grant is covering the project expenses. We anticipate when we're fully operational that ARPA and CARES Act dollars will be a resource for us as well. And this is an area that we definitely have to explore more once we're fully implementing.
How will this project be sustainable once your grant period is done?
So we understand that there are currently some flexibility in the use of Older Americans Act funding for programs like this. However, it is hoped that there will be future enhancements to the federal funding to identify specific funding and nutrition categories that would support a program like Title C3 1.5.
What stakeholders do you need buy-in from?
We needed early buy-ins from community-based organizations.
What advice do you have for trying to replicate a similar project?
I would say be creative in your partnerships. Try to think outside of organizations that are traditional of the aging network, and just be creative in who you're partnering with.
How do I get started?
You'll want to find partners that are able to identify and screen clients for the program, as well as partners that can source, store, pack, and deliver food. With the food side, that's a big ask for organizations, so I would say really play to each organization's strengths. It's going to be rare to find one that can do all of those things, so kind of create a system of partnerships that can get the job done that way.
What do you wish you would have known prior to beginning the project?
Awareness of the different FDA licenses that exist for packing and repacking food would have been helpful in knowing the right questions to ask when we're establishing new partnerships. But this project, it's not so much about what we wish we would have known, it's more about learning as we develop and implement our pilot programs.